Hello, this is Akiko Sudano from StampinInTheMeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. And today I am going to be making a set of cards, 2 cards, with the Stampin' Up! Love of Leaves bundle. Hold on just a second. I'm not seeing what I want to see. Hold on. With the Love of Leaves bundle. And hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm still trying to sort myself out here. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So I'm using the Love of Leaves bundle today. And actually, it's not a bundle anymore. It was a bundle last fall in the catalog last fall. So I was lucky and happy that this is one of the sets that carried over. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, and it's got a set of dies that go with it. Thank you, Karen, so much. That was fun. It's got a set of dies that go with it called the Stitched Leaves dies. And before I get to the dies, let me show you the stamp set, because it's got a lot of these different leaves that are I think they're distinctive. I don't know, but they've got different shades, so you can stamp. They're not flat. They stamp in lots of different colors, shades of the colors, and hello, Carol. Thank you for joining me today. And then also they've got these beautiful, wonderful, wonderful sentiments. The font is sweet, and everything is uplifting and happy, and it's it talks about friendship, hello, and thank you. Lots of different sentiments that are great for any kind of card that you want to, for a lot of different kinds of cards that you want to make. And then they've got this set of wonderful dies. These are the Stitched Leaves dies. And you've got, one of the things about these dies is that you've got like stitching on the outside so that you can have like a reverse space. And so that's why I'm going to make 2 cards today, because I'm going to use this set of dies, and we'll cut out a pretty leaf. And then we'll use the reverse of that to make another card, because you've got the pretty stitching on the outside of the dies as well. But so you've got each of these dies comes in 2 pieces. You've got the inside, so you can cut out the stamped image without using the inset, or you can cut it out with the inset, but you've got your choice, and or you can just use the stitching on the outside, which is very, very nice. And then you've got this fancy die that you can just cut a bunch of stitched lines in your whatever it is that you're doing. I know the stitching is just really, really pretty on this set. So I'm going to be using this. I've got a panel of Cajun Craze, a Cajun Craze cardstock right here, and I'm going to first. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll talk about my card bases and the other designs about my card. Let me go get my cutting plate here, and I've got the magnetic cutting plate. So what I want to do is I want to cut this out in the middle, so that when on this card we'll have the outline in Cajun Craze, and you'll be able to see the pretty designer series paper underneath that. So we'll put the paper right here, and I want to hello, Chris. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I want to, I'm going to put this slightly on an angle here, and I just want to make sure that it's kind of lined up. This inset is lined up so that it's kind of evenly done around. And that, I think that looks good. And I'm going to use some, I'm going to be careful with this, because this tends to stay sticky, and hold this on with, hold this still with some of this tape. And I'm going to take this over to my die cutting machine right behind me and cut this out, and hopefully this will cut out real good. What I tried to do was I tried to put that die in the center of the panel, because since I'm going to be using that panel, it matters, and it's important where that goes. But I don't think I was paying as good attention to that as I should have been. There we go. Okay, so here we have, and let's pull these pieces apart. These are the dies. I don't need this tape anymore. I can pull this off. And this is just that Post-it tape. You can use Post-it notes. You can use washi tape, whatever your preferred method of keeping your dies secure on your cutting plates, whatever that method is. But then we've got this beautiful, beautiful cutout, and then we've got this pretty leaf. So we've got pieces that we can use for two different cards here. So I'll put this stuff away and start working on the card. So the first card, I've got a cinnamon cider card base, and I've got a panel that I've embossed with the Timber 3D embossing folder, and this has just a bunch of wood grain. It's similar to the pine wood planks, except it doesn't have the planks, but it's really, really pretty. And this came out with the new mini catalog that just came out just a short while ago. And so I've cut this to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so that it basically covers the whole front of the card. And that's the front of my card. Good. Okay. And put this on. Put it on with liquid glue so that I could line it up and slide it around if I needed to in order to get good coverage. Okay, there we go. So, and for my second card, I have a soft suede card base, and I've already done the same thing. I've embossed a panel of soft suede cardstock with the bark 3D embossing folder, and this one looks just like a tree bark. It's really kind of pretty, and it's got a nice and rustic kind of, outdoorsy sort of look. So for the first card, I'm going to take this panel of Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. This is one from the annual catalog, and I thought this was so pretty because it's got your typical fall oranges and yellows with a little bit of green, but then it's got the misty moonlight, the blue thrown in there, which really makes it nice and different. And I've cut this one out with the third largest, I believe, stitched rectangles die, and I'm going to just adhere this to the card front, my cinnamon cider embossed card front, with liquid glue. Yes, Karen, there are. This one, I had a hard time designing. I really like this paper because I really like this one because of the blue in it. But then there's I was really tempted. I think that I could have easily chosen the one that has the Mary Merlot all over it with all the different fall colors. And then there's another one that I've used a lot also that has all of the leaf sprays on it. And that would have been nice too. But there's a lot of different fall leaves in that Designer Series paper pack. So I'm going to go ahead and with this one, what I want to do is I'm going to put that on like that so that you've got like the square on the rectangle. So you've got the designer series paper peeking out underneath. But what I want to do also, and I'm going to pop this on with dimensionals, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take this linen thread, and I've stretched this out, and I'm going to wrap this around here twice. And I'm going to, twice, and then I'm going to cut this off and just tie a loopy bow. Put this on, and this is a little bit soft, so I want to be careful not to squeeze it because of the die cutting. Do want to be careful there. I need to make that a little longer. Move this over. I think that's long enough, and this will be good right here. Make it over on the side by the stem here. Stay there, stay there. It's interesting because I didn't realize that, didn't think about it, but I've got the backs of the, if I put this over where the leaf is cut out, the leaf cutouts, then I've got the back of the twine showing through as well. So I'm going to just tie this into a knot first, and that looks a little bit loose in the back there. Tighten that up, squeeze that together. Tie it into a nice knot, and then just make a simple bow. There we go, and then make a bow. And I will trim the ends after I attach at the end of the card. Okay, so that's good. Oh, didn't think about that. That's a good idea, because I'm going to attach this on top of here with dimensionals anyway. So I could just do that. So I want to make sure that I'm even first. Measure this. Oh, I'm off the camera. Sorry about that. That looks even. So I will take my half dimensionals and I will put them all around. And I did adhere that down already. And I want to stick some dimensionals kind of on these. This is such a pretty leaf die cut, but I want to stick them on here. These little sharp points, I'm not going to be able to get those secure. I'm going to really put these on, and I'll put some over these guys too. Go back up. Let's see here. There we go. And I think that's going to be, I'm going to stick one more right here. So that guy is good. And stick one right here on this end. Keep that secure. I want to stick another one up here. Really, since this is such a since I've got the die cut, it kind of weakens it a little bit. So pull the covers off. And this, there are so many cards out there using the older designer series papers, using this negative space concept for this card with this set, because it just comes out so pretty with the outside stitching. And you don't have that, you don't have too many stamp sets that, or die sets that provide you with that, feature. So we've got this done now. So we'll just put this on here, and we want some of the designer series paper peeking out on both sides there, and I think that's, and then you've got it peeking on the bottom, in the center, and a little bit on the top. And then that's that. Now I took the thank you sentiment from the stamp set, and I stamped that in Misty Moonlight, and I used the skinny long stitch rectangle die to cut it out. Now what I had to do is I had to put it down, cut it halfway through on one side, then pick it up and move it over, and then cut the other side, because that was a much longer die. I think it's about this long, and I wanted to make it so that it would cut this label out nicely. And I think I can just stick this label here in the corner with some glue dots, or I can use liquid glue, because oh, here's my glue dots. I will go ahead and use glue dots. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the things that I like about things with this, with the negative space and the big open thing there, because you just never know. It's quite creative. So I'll just stick this here, and even this label could go over the stitching there. But you know what? I wanted to leave that as that is. So I'm going to probably put some gemstones on this one, but I want to come back to this second card where we're going to be using the pretty leaf that we cut out. Now I've used the same designer series paper, and for this card I'm going to use a sketch where you have two rectangles and you kind of put them like on a diagonal, offset them like this. So I'm going to adhere these two down with liquid glue, and then I'll use the die cut leaf and add some more die cut leaves to that, and just kind of make a little leaf bouquet on the front there. Now the nice thing about when you have this kind of a sketch layout is that they can be crooked. It's not going to matter. And so this is the long leaf. There are dies for each of these leaves, leaf designs. And then for this leaf, there's a die that goes this way and another set of dies that goes the opposite direction. See, they kind of go in opposite directions, but you can see all of them right here. It's just really a great set. So I'm going to first I'm going to put the long green one, and I cut this one in Mossy Meadow, and I'll have all of the measurements in tomorrow's blog, so you can look for it there. And then this one, I think I'm going to just glue all of these down. So this is going to be kind of a flat card, and I'll put this one right on top. And the Cajun Craze is just so beautiful with these colors. Actually, I just need to leave this open. Kind of put it right here. All right, so then I have this sentiment and this sentiment, so I'm going to make this a birthday card. And this sentiment I stamped from the In Bloom stamp set, and I felt that this was kind of this could be a masculine card, a fall masculine card. And I think what we'll do is we'll just pop this on with dimensionals on top right here. Yeah, and then we'll figure out where to put this last leaf after we get this on. And then I had to stamp it twice. You can see here, and let's see here. But that's why it's good that there's two sides for the paper, so that if you aren't happy with how the first one comes out, then just turn it over. So pull the covers off. And we'll just put this about right here. I think that looks good. And that looks fairly straight. There we go. It really is tricky when you've got all these panels going in all these different directions. Rectangle. Yes, this one's Bumblebee, and this is Beauty of the Earth. And then this is this little small leaf die cut, and this is done with that new cork paper. It's this little die cut here, and I was really surprised at how well you could see the stitching, even though you had all of the textures from the cork. And I'm going to just add some liquid glue. Actually, yeah, I'm going to just put some liquid glue and tuck this guy behind the top here, tuck it underneath there, under the label, like that. And then give them a good press. And I can feel the glue coming up in between the stitching and stuff there. So my fingers just have touches of glue on it. So let's see, let's add some, I think these are the brushed metallic dots that are in the new catalog that just came out. And I think it's just so many. What color? I think any of these colors would go great. And it's just I think we'll just stick with one color. I think we'll just go with this color right here. And I'm going to add 3 of them to this card. I'm going to stick one up here just to kind of fill up this space. Stick one on the label somewhere, right up here. This looks good. And since we want to make this kind of masculine, I think we'll skip the additional ribbon thing right here. Right here. Oh, we could put it down here. I like that. Down here. There we go. And then for this card, I think I'm going to just take one of these little ones and just stick it on the label right here. So there are the fronts of the cards. Now for the inside, I've already done the inside of this card, and what I did was I stamped that same this same leaf, and then I just stamped it in the middle after stamping off a couple of times. So I'm going to do that with a panel of basic white right here, and I'm going to stamp it in Cajun Craze, and I'm going to ink this up and then stamp this off twice so that it's still a nice, you've got the leaf, but I think that you're gonna, by stamping it off twice, you're picking up the same color, but you're also making it so that it will, you can write all over it. And if you have a inside sentiment that you want to use, this is not really going to matter whether it's, you just want it centered on the page here. If you've got an inside sentiment, you can add an inside sentiment. That's so pretty. And then another strip of Designer Series paper. And on this one, I just left a teeny bit of white on the bottom here, and I think I'm going to be doing that also. Add this with a little bit of liquid glue. And leave just a little bit of white peeking through. Since I don't have a mat on it or anything, I think for this one I made it just a little bit wider. Let's see how that goes. Just for something different. Trim off the little end. Just basically line up the paper with the blade of my scissor. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Seal to adhere this to the inside of the card, and we will be done. So that's two cards with one die cut. And that's one of the things I think that makes this this stamp set, this Love of Leaf stamp set, so special. And oh, the other thing is that for this card, I made a side folding card so that you can, because this is you know, some people prefer side folding cards and some people prefer the top folding cards. And I know I always use it. For me, the top folding cards are easier to photograph, and so I tend to make most of mine for my blogs that way because I have to take the pictures. But I know some people have a difficult time. How do I open this one? So this is so I want to show that you can make it with a side folding card as well, just like a regular book folding card. So this is the inside of the card, and it's the same. And we have here a thank you card using the outside, and a birthday card. That's kind of a masculine fall type of birthday card for using the inside of the leaf. So that's my card for today. Absolutely no waste. And actually, it's a pair of cards for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And next weekend, I'm going to have to skip my card presentation next weekend because our township is doing a fall fest, and I'm going to be helping with the fall fest. And so getting ready for that, I'm going to be making lots of fall cards for this week. So you guys have a great week also, and take care, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.